Hi everyone, my name's Diane Carbonell and I blog at fittothefinish.com, and I'm also the author of the book 150 Pounds Gone Forever. And in case you aren't familiar with my story, I used to weigh 305 pounds and this was my very favorite shirt because it actually fit. Well, fortunately this shirt doesn't fit anymore. When I started my blog 4 years ago, my goal was to encourage people like yourself to lose weight, to get healthy, and to stay fit forever. Because I have maintained a 158-pound weight loss for 15 years. I teach local weight loss classes in my town, and when I do, I talk about a variety of topics just like I do on my blog. Today I wanted to talk to you about justification in weight loss. It's not something we really think about very often, but it's something a lot of us do. And there's several ways that we can justify making unhealthy choices when we're supposed to be trying to lose weight. Let me give you a little example. This is an ice cream sandwich. When I was obese, I would justify eating something like this, and my thought process would go kind of like this. I would say, well, it has ice cream, but ice cream has calcium and it's made with milk, and I don't drink a lot of milk, so that probably makes this okay. Well, and the chocolate part, that's got, chocolate's good for me, so it's really okay if I eat this. So I would justify, making this kind of choice when I really didn't need it and didn't want it and really shouldn't have it, simply based on the ingredient list. I would also justify buying things like this. These are chicken hot dogs. Because I would say, well, they have protein and they're made of chicken. And chicken's good for me. And it's good for my kids. And I would just kind of discount everything else that wasn't healthy about these. And I would justify it and I would eat it and I would feed it to my children. I see a lot of people justifying these types of things for themselves and for their kids. Again, justifying a poor choice by saying, well, it's got chicken, it has a fruit, it has what else does it have? It has a pretty package. So we justify some of our unhealthy food choices simply based on the ingredients. And that's never a good thing. So try to avoid justification of unhealthy choices by also justifying the ingredients. The second reason a lot of us use justification when we're trying to lose weight is because we try to justify our unhealthy choices by telling ourselves, I deserve it. I deserve this ice cream sandwich because I've been good. Good, right? I've been good while I'm losing weight. So we say that we deserve it. And that allows us to justify some unhealthy choices. I did it all the time. I would say, well, I've been out shopping all day with the kids and I'm tired, so I deserve a McDonald's chocolate milkshake, or I deserve Wendy's French fries. And I would justify my choices because I was tired, or because I had had a bad day, or I would justify it because, you know what, doggone it, I was tired of following my diet and I just deserved a break. So I would justify whatever unhealthy food choice I decided to make. And sadly, those justifications oftentimes didn't stop with just one, because I am a fan of moderation. So if you really want that ice cream sandwich and you can fit it within your weight loss plan, well then have one. But what would happen with me, and what happens with a lot of people that I see, is they justify that one ice cream sandwich and then it morphs into two. And then they might have Breyer's ice cream and then chips, and before they know it, they've fallen off the cliff completely and their diet plan is blown apart. And so justification in weight loss really a lot of time leads to quitting our plan because we've justified ourselves right out of trying to take the steps necessary to lose weight. So a lot of times we justify because of ingredients, a lot of times we justify because we deserve it. And a lot of times we try to justify our behaviors because of social situations. Well, I'm going to a wedding and there's just no way I can eat healthy, so I just won't think about it today. So if this is you, if this is sounding familiar to you, I would just really encourage you to do 3 things. So let's just review. A lot of times we use justification when we're trying to lose weight to give ourselves permission to eat unhealthy foods because we try to justify the ingredients, even though we know in our heart they're really not great for us. We justify our behavior because we feel like we deserve it. And a lot of times we try to justify our behavior because of social situations that we have going on. So if this is you, I want to leave you with some steps to stop justifying unhealthy choices and instead keep forward on your path. So the first step, like it is in almost any behavior, is to acknowledge what you're doing. And isn't this true with so many things, whether it's smoking or eating too much or even not exercising at all, is to just take ownership of that and tell yourself, you know what? I have been justifying bad food choices. I have been smoking too much or whatever it is. You need to acknowledge that behavior, and that's oftentimes is the first step into breaking those bad habits that we have. And the second thing we need to do is stop. We need to stop picking up the ice cream sandwich and justifying it to ourselves. And if you find yourself starting to do that, starting to reach into the frozen container that they have like by grocery stores and stuff, which is where I got this one, just picking up a little treat because you deserve it or because, it does have milk in it, then you just need to stop because you've acknowledged it. And then a lot of times in your brain you'll hear, you know what, I'm justifying again. So stop that behavior. And the third step to breaking this justification pattern, I have found it to be very helpful, is to replace the bad behavior with a deliberate action. So for me, what I would do if I was out shopping and I started to try to justify, going through a drive-through or stopping into the grocery store to get the ingredients to make a pound cake or whatever it was that struck my fancy at the time, is I would acknowledge what I was feeling. I would make myself stop, and instead of going to get the ingredients for pound cake, I would tell myself, well, I'm hungry, or I do want to have something nice for dinner tonight, so I would go get apples and we would have baked apples. Or if I felt like I wanted to go to the convenience store, and get some candy, instead I would take the kids out for a walk. So it was replacing that behavior of justification with a healthier behavior. And over time, if you continue to do this enough, you will start to see this behavior of justification lessen and lessen. And I rarely do it these days after 15 years of weight maintenance. Well, sure, sometimes I can, but I try not to because I'm used to following these steps, the acknowledgement, the stopping, and the replacing the behavior. So I hope that this has helped you in your weight loss journey. Again, my name's Diane Carbonell. Come visit my blog at fittotthefinish.com/blog or shoot me an email, and I'd love to touch base with you on Facebook or Twitter or even Pinterest.